Hello everyone, you're Royce here and welcome to the channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, we're going to feature another bhitalae species, and we're going to add it to the playlist as well of the species itself. And this particular bhitalae is having the collection ID of ES21298, and it's also known as the Jade Dragon. So Jade Dragon is found in Tanzania, that is west of Mafinga, 15 kilometers to Madibra. So I've already featured the 21833, also known as Dragon Wing, and now I am presenting the ES21298 collection number collected by Ernst Specks, and the one known as Jade Dragon. So if you've noticed, Dragon Wing is having found in Mafinga, 12 kilometers to Madibra, and now this is the Jade Dragon, 15 kilometers to Madibra. So again, for people who's using the measure of distance like 15 kilometers, and then having it as an ID of an unknown Sansevieria, so that is totally made up, and we do not really acknowledge that Sansevieria, whatever it is of unknown origin. They just tag it as 15 kilometers. It is not even the Jade Dragon or the ES21298. So we do not know any KM12 Sansevieria or KM15 Sansevieria. Whoever made that up, we do not acknowledge it, and we're not using it as a Sansevieria ID. So going back to what we have is the Jade Dragon. So what we'll do is first we'll check the specimen itself, and later on I will be checking the characteristics, and I will be describing ES21298 as a species, or the Jade Dragon as a species, and I will be emphasizing on the differences between 21298, 21833, all the bhitalae that's having the, or all the bhitalaes that I have featured so far. So right now, I think this will be the fifth episode for the bhitalae species of Sansevieria that I will be presenting, and this particular specimen has a very identical Sansevieria. I forgot the collection ID of that Sansevieria species, but I guess it was also collected by Ernst Specks. I can have that noted down on the comment section, because if I don't have the channel, especially the channel on hand, or I cannot scroll it using my phone while I'm taking a video, then I cannot memorize all the Sansevierias that I have. So the Sansevieria channel acts as a Bible for me, or it's an index for me for the Sansevierias that I have collected. So we made a channel for us to track the Sansevierias that we have, and as well as help people with the ID of the Sansevierias that they have. So it helps us, it helps the viewers, helps the subscribers. So it's a win-win situation for us to have this channel made, and as well as develop it. We have uploaded a lot of species so far, and I lost count. In fact, that is why I have designated playlist for it, with regards to whatever species or which species they belong to, so that people can easily find them, or I can easily find them if I need some reference. Going back though, we will be discussing about the Jade Dragon or ES21298. So we'll check the health of the plant. Like I mentioned, I'm using the heavy pot for it. It's a concrete pot. It's the mold of the your drinking container, the 18 gallons. I didn't bother to video and risk carrying it, because you already saw it when he carried the ES 21833 or the Dragon Wing. So my specimen of the 21298, the Jade Dragon, is not that large, or I'm expecting it to be large, but it's not as large as I have expected to be. And we just had it removed from the location where it is in. I have not been really religious enough to maintain it, but as you can see, it's sturdy, unlike the other species, especially Trifasciatus. If you left it for about 3 to 4 years and the pests have already begun infesting it, it wouldn't stand a chance, or it will die out. So what I'm showing you right now are one of the sturdiest species of Sansevieria. I would say if you're a beginner, you would start with the bhitalae, because they're hardy enough to survive, and the one that I'm showing you right now is in fact subjected to rain or shine condition. So it's in a roofless position, wherein I don't even use some sunscreen on them or the net to filter out the UV rays. It's just under the palm tree, so they kinda like being under some palm trees, trees that are not fully blocking the sun. So there are some sunlight that's getting to them, but not too much. That's what they like. So what we'll do is we'll check again the health of the plant. So I would say that the plant is very healthy, although I think there are some pests on it. Like I said, I have left it for several years, and the damage that it took, there are some aphids on here, so we'll do something about it. For aphids, folks, if you don't have any pesticides in handy, you can use hydrogen peroxide, a 3% solution, or you can use your alcohol. They will melt out all the aphids that you can find on your plant. So there are several aphids that I have found. Those are the ones that are whitish. So the first thing that you do, I'm giving out tips as we discuss the species on the channel. So folks, if you're not a subscriber, or you're not watching the videos on the channel, you might miss out some of the care tips that I'm giving when I am discussing about the Sansevieria species that we feature. So I suggest that you like and subscribe to channels to stay updated, so you can check out all the care tips that I'm giving out when we are discussing some of the species or even hybrids of Sansevieria. So one is the problem with the bhitalae 21298, the problems that you would encounter. I'm not saying that you will encounter them, but probably you would, especially if you're just leaving it in an open space wherein it's protected by a greenhouse, or you don't or you've forgotten to do some maintenance work on it. So these are the pests that you would commonly see, these white aphids or mealybugs. So again, if you don't have a pesticide handy, use an alcohol or the hydrogen peroxide, and I'm using hydrogen peroxide, and I put it on the alcohol sprayer that already ran out. So just spray on them, they'll melt out, but they will still stick on the leaves, so you have to watch out for that. You will be needing your spray, and you will be needing your paintbrush to remove the pest on the leaves. So there, or you can easily remove them, especially if they're not that infested. Just do what I do. And then one thing about aphids or mealybugs is that they like to hide themselves, especially in this corner. So you have to kind of check, and there's one on there. There's a whitish thing that's hiding on there, so you have to check the leaves are sticking together. As the core of the plant, like I mentioned, it's out in the open, so you would see some fruit. The fruit, what you call it? It's a carapace of the fruit that is on the palm tree that's falling on the core. So you might need to remove them so that you can find whatever is hiding on the core. Spray some hydrogen peroxide. The plant doesn't mind it. In fact, it will take care of the pests that are hiding on the core of the plant. Another thing that's good with hydrogen peroxide is that if there are wounds on the core that has been damaged by the pest through their bite marks, they will make the wounds callous faster. So there you go. Trying to brush off whatever is not supposed to be in that area of the plant. Also, dusting off, you can just use the brush to remove the dust on the leaf of your Sansevierias, and spray some hydrogen peroxide. It would melt whatever is sticking on the surface of your leaves, especially if your Sansevieria is under rain or shine condition. Some leaf would be there would be algae growth on them, so hydrogen peroxide is the best way to get rid of those algae sticking on the leaves of your plant if they're overly subjected to rain. Alright, so we'll check if there are still some. I think we found some pests right there. Those are again aphids or mealybugs sticking on the sides of the leaf of the plant. So what you do is to just spray, since it's not that infested, and then again use your paintbrush to remove them from the leaf. So you will not see all the pests on your Sansevieria, because there are some parts of it that it's not visible for you. So what you do is get a systemic pesticide, and then I actually use the granule type of pesticide, wherein you just sprinkle them, and then every time you water them, or every time it gets hit by rain, it dilutes, and then the plant would absorb it. The roots of the plant will absorb it, and the plant itself will be poisonous to the pest that will try to infest it. Alright, so there you go. We've done some maintenance. We've checked if there are any pests on the specimen, and we've managed to find some. Like I mentioned, I have neglected it for over a year, because I'm quite confident that they're much sturdier compared to the other Sansevieria species that I grow. So I kinda neglected into giving them maintenance, especially sprinkling some systemic pesticides on them. So with regards to pests, they can be infested. With regards to fungal spots, they're very sturdy. Like I mentioned, you wouldn't found any fungal infestation on the leaves, brown spots on the leaves, despite they are being subjected to rain or shine condition. And we have typhoons here in the Philippines, and I just leave them out in the open, and they don't ever get sick. So for newbies, I would suggest growing bhitalaes, because for me, they're the sturdiest Sansevieria species out there in the Sansevieria kingdom. Alright, so we've managed to do some maintenance. Next is I would dose them, or get them a small basket, wherein I will be putting a slow release fertilizer on them. This one is slow release, folks, and I just put them on this container, which is very useful for me. It's a pellet gun container, but I emptied it out because I needed it for fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides. It's easier for me to just do this rather than get some of it on the original package that they are sold with. So there you go, we're done with the adding fertilizers on them. So like I mentioned, these are slow release fertilizers. Every time that they get hit by rain or you water them through aiming through the basket, they will be diluted, not all at once, but they will be diluted every time you pour water on them. So that's how slow release fertilizer works. Alright, so going back, I also have the fungicide placed on the same container, like I said. So what you do is you just sprinkle it on the basket itself or some parts of the specimen or your Sansevieria plant, just to be sure that they don't get infected by fungal infections. Alright, so we're done with partly making the maintenance. Now we'll be discussing about the characteristics of the Sansevieria species known with the collection ID ES21298 or the Jade Dragon. So I will have to clip the camera again and then take some data or measurements, collect some data from the specimen of ES21298 or known as the Jade Dragon. Alright, there you go. So first, I guess we will be taking some leaf width. In terms of leaf width, folks, hold on, I'm trying to adjust the camera. Alright, so in terms of leaf width, compared to the Silver Dragon, Dragon Wing, or Silver Blue, your Jade Dragon is actually now narrower, or the narrowest of the three of them, because the leaf width would just be around 2.8 inches. This one is also about 2.8. That's where my hand ended up, so I don't know if you can see it because it's getting out of focus every time I do that. But the leaf width would be at an average of 2.8. Now leaf length, this is the longest of the clump. It's actually 12 inches. The other ones are 9 to 10 inches, 8 inches. So it's safe to say that the specimen leaf length that I have collected is 9 to 11 inches. So we managed to get the data with regards to leaf width and leaf length. Next, we will get the data of the longitudinal lines. So it's important to get the measure of the longitudinal lines because Jade Dragon has the thickest longitudinal lines in the bhitalae species. So we'll measure this one right over here. I don't know if you can see it, but the measure that I'm getting would be 2 millimeters. So Silver Dragon is actually just 0.3 millimeters. Your Dragon Wing and then Silver Blue, they would be at 1.2 millimeters for the longitudinal lines, and then you have Jade Dragon at 2.0 millimeters, the thickest of the three, or the thickest of the previous ones that I've already featured on the channel. So That's one of the characteristics of the Jade Dragon. What else is that the longitudinal lines on them are very few compared to Silver Dragon that's all over the leaf. Also Silver Blue all over the leaf, Dragon Wing all over the leaf. Jade Dragon just several longitudinal lines. In fact, some of the leaves do not have longitudinal lines on them. So aside from that, let's see if I can get the camera again from the stand so that we can discuss more about the Sansevieria ES21298. So like I mentioned, some of the leaves even do not have longitudinal lines. Some would just have several, so several that you can just count them. It's possible to count them compared to Silver Dragons and Silver Blue, even Dragon Wing. Here's another leaf. You can count the longitudinal lines on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. And then the longitudinal lines are about the size of 1.5 to 2 inches in length. Even 3 inches on this other leaf. So those are the characteristics that I can emphasize with regards to the differences. See if I can get something. And then the edging, because they're all bhitalae, it's the same. The outer part is actually a wilty wood-like appearance, and then after it would be instead of reddish, looks to me that this the Jade Dragon has brownish, but other parts of it are also reddish in color. That's the tip. Still looks like dried blood. So still very bhitalae in terms of characteristic, despite the narrower leaves, and for me shorter because I haven't grown them to a very tall singular leaf. I guess there's one here that's growing, but I'm not sure if it will grow to more than 12 inches or even 24 inches. So for now, I'll stick with the specimen measurements that I have taken from this clump of the Jade Dragon. And I guess this is all that I can emphasize with regards to the differences between the bhitalae species, or the dragons as what they're called in the market. So folks, I guess this is it for this content of another bhitalae species that we featured. So if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. And then if you like what I have presented for you, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and you have a great day.